Okay, so I did a thing, and it was a lot.
Golden age of America. The hottest country, bigger, better, richer. The Somali pirates, 0 illegal aliens plundering America. Dirty, rotten lie. They're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Trump's 2026 State of the Union address was the longest ever, and that's pretty long considering the competition. Trump is second only to himself, talking and winning for just over 1 hour and 47 minutes.
In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it.
And it's easy to label a lot of it as typical grandstanding, here's why you love me kind of stuff.
Mortgage rates are the lowest in 4 years. The price of eggs is down 60%. The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs.
Plus, there's also clearly a grievance here too, right?
The cheating is rampant in our elections. You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. These people are crazy.
But it's all choreographed, all very intentional. Let me take you behind the words. You notice how, most of the time, Trump is looking to his left when he speaks?
$1.85 a gallon for gasoline. We ended DEI in America, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love.
He does it so often, at first you might think, well, that's where his teleprompter is. But no, he's got one on either side. The reason he favors his left side is because that's where all the Republicans are sitting, often standing. This is where we can start to pull the curtain back on optics and staging. You see how the president is the center of not just attention, but national power, flanked by 2 of his party's most powerful agents who are present in every shot of the president, one part of the front row seating the most influential members of cabinet, and in the other, the Supreme Court justices who represent the highest law of the land. Some of the highest-ranking members of the military are also present. All of the players revolving around Trump. And Trump knows how to squeeze this dynamic.
One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe.
So note at the end there, Trump turning away from his home base on one side of the room to a very different audience. This is a made-for-TV moment. Like, literally manufactured for a very specific purpose. Maybe you'll see it in an attack ad someday.
Is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle.
So he's looking right at Democrats here, right? Not all of whom are in the room, of course. Some skipped out or left mid-speech in protest, but here's the loyalty test he lays out.
If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
And I think this is the longest applause of the night, almost 2 full minutes. But note the half of the room that leaps to its feet to applaud Trump, and the other half of the room that refuses to jump through the hoop. The whole thing is very triumphant, very awkward, very combative.
He wanted to dramatize it, not just by having his side applaud, but by showing those sitting on their hands so that maybe in future campaigns, Republicans running for Congress will use that and say, my opponent didn't stand up for America. So it is a matter of theater, a poisonous, toxic theater.
And the fact that they just didn't take the bait clearly infuriated him.
And throughout the speech, you can almost sometimes tell, even with the audio off, how hostile Trump's message is based on which direction he's facing. Like when he's talking about the Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota.
Remind us that there are large parts of the world where bribery, corruption, and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception.
So we see this cutaway of Democratic Representative Somali American and frequent Trump target, Ilhan Omar. And then once Trump really gets going on illegal immigration,
Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games.
and this pattern repeats. It's about projecting power. It's about attacks and antagonism.
And enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy, I'm telling you. They're crazy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time, didn't we? People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country.
State of the Union addresses are constitutionally required, but they're also very politically useful because they let a president frame how good a job they're doing on their own terms.
Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much.
Now, it's hard to know exactly how many people are watching, with audiences fragmented across so many platforms and sometimes consuming just viral sound bites.
These people are crazy, I'm telling you. They're crazy.
But last year, on TV alone, Trump had a record audience of more than 36 million people. That's amongst the largest guaranteed audiences a president typically gets. Trump uses this time to sell himself.
What a difference a president makes. I've always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I was informed I'm not allowed to give it to myself.
But in this most recent State of the Union, more than any other I can think of, we also saw what you might call borrowed prestige.
You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
That feels good, right? This halo effect, pride by association. Trump would even bestow upon Team USA's goalie the highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Trump wants to be associated with winning, right? And so when there is a moment where he can sort of take ownership of winning, and he attempted to do it in this way by bringing in the men's gold medal hockey team, that really was another standout moment.
Now, I'm not saying Trump is the only president to do this. There's actually a long history of what are affectionately called Lenny Skutniks.
And we saw the heroism of one of our young government employees, Lenny Skutnik.
It's this tradition of presidents honoring notable, usually heroic, often battle-worn Americans.
Brandon Say, a 26-year-old hero.
Corey is here tonight. Sergeant First Class Corey Remsburg never gives up, and he does not quit.
Rosa Parks sat down on a bus in Alabama and wouldn't get up. She's sitting down with the First Lady tonight, and she may get up or not as she chooses. We thank her.
So this is a thing, and in Trump's case, a continuation of tradition. A recognition of National Guardsman Andrew Wolf, who survived an ambush-style attack the day before Thanksgiving last year in Washington, D.C.
The award created by our late, great President George Washington himself. It's called the Purple Heart.
And a big moment for Eric Slover, a helicopter pilot who was wounded in the operation to capture Venezuela's president, celebrated as a hero.
With our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Again, among the most heartfelt moments of any State of the Union address. I just can't recall the last time I saw this many in one speech.
Goalie Connor Hellebuck. Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin. Mrs. Zaretska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter. Irina. Erica is with us tonight. Erica, please stand. Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor.
And not just one, but 2 medals of honor, minutes apart in this kind of setting. This was noticed, especially amongst those writers and watchers who don't believe in coincidences.
Donald Trump treats these events like he has a history of being a reality TV star, and there's an element of showmanship when it comes to these kinds of events.
He sees this recognition as gifts that he and he alone is able to bestow on people that he favors. It's in keeping with that tradition that goes back to Ronald Reagan, but Trump has really kicked it up to a place where it's personal in a way that it wasn't in the past.
I don't want to leave you with the impression that the State of the Union is exclusively theater. I mean, that's a big part of it, but it's also where the president typically has clear goals. One is speaking directly to lawmakers about legislative priorities, like benchmarking drug prices.
I took prescription drugs, a very big part of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. So now I'm calling on Congress to codify my most favored nation program into law.
It's also about signaling intention and even attempting to sway voters. We saw, for example, Trump's most full-throated case yet, direct to the American people in support of an impending attack on Iran.
The regime and its murderous proxies have spread nothing but terrorism and death and hate. And they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States of America. I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
But really, the political calculation, particularly for Trump, particularly now, may be simpler than all that.
His rhetoric makes clear he's nervous about the midterms. It was an attempt to shift the conversation.
Trump's ratings are in a place where they're bad enough that Democrats could find themselves doing very well in the midterm elections coming up later this year.
The consequences for Donald Trump after that vote are significant. It will determine how much power he's going to have for the final part of his presidency.
It is a big part of what is preoccupying President Trump's mind over the next several months, trying to convince Americans that all is not lost.
The most recent poll I've seen from The Washington Post, ABC, and Ipsos suggests 60% of Americans disapprove of Donald Trump. That's the lowest rating he's seen since the attack on the U.S. Capitol at the end of his first term. So, this year's State of the Union?
And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before.
It might just be more campaign speech than anything else.